Hi guys, welcome back. Joe here with the Daily Logistics, where we discuss how you can grow and improve your rental company using digital solutions. In today's video, we are going to talk about bundling your tent items. This is important for you to be able to keep track of the individual components of your tents, whether they be frame tents, tension top tents, carnival tents, pole tents, whatever the case may be. All tents involve various components in order to construct them, and in order to keep track of the individual parts from an inventory standpoint, you need to create bundle items in your QuickBooks company file, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we are going to do is we're going to go to our Invoicing tab and we're going to select Products and Services. We're going to hit New Product and Service, and then we're going to click the Bundle item, okay? We're going to give this bundle a name. We're going to call it Frame Tent 20 by 30. So we're going to do a standard 20 foot by 30 foot frame tent, okay? You can give this SKU if you want and a picture upload if you want. I'm not going to here. I'm going to skip the description as well. Here's an important feature. You can choose to either display the individual components of this tent to your customer, or you can choose not to. I usually suggest not to, just because they don't really need to know what's involved and what components are on that tent. It doesn't really matter to them, and it makes the invoice quite long and hard to digest from a user standpoint. So it's important for you, it's important for your internal staff, not as important for the customer to see it. So I usually suggest do not click this button to show it on printed invoices or emailed invoices. Okay, and then the next thing you're going to do is you're basically going to add line items for every single component that is involved with creating a 20 by 30 frame tent. You will have needed to create these items individually before you create and add them to a bundle item, okay? So for example, the first component that I'm going to add here for this 20 by 30 frame tent is going to be the hip rafter. You may call this something different, but it's basically a 14-foot pole, right? And then you're going to edit the quantities of this to show how many of that particular item you need to make this frame tent. And in this case, we need 4 of these hip rafters. And you're going to go on down the list. So the next one I'm going to put in is side rafters. Okay, your 10-foot 6-inch poles, you're going to need 6 of those. And then you need your spreaders, which are your 9-foot 4-inch poles, and you're going to need 11 of those. And you just keep going down the list, okay? So I'm just going to continue doing this until I'm finished with all of the different components of this tent. Okay, so you can see I've got a list here of all of the components that are involved with creating a 20 by 30 frame tent. Now, all of these line items are $0 line items, so they're not going to add any rate or dollar amount increase to the actual invoice when you add these. In order to get the actual dollar amount for this bundle when you add it to an invoice is to add an item that actually has the rate that you're going to charge for this particular frame tent. And so I usually end up creating a separate service item, not a bundle item, but a service item that has the same name as the bundle item. So in this case, I'm going to add my 20 by 30 frame tent and give it a quantity of 1, and that's going to have the rate on it that I need for this entire bundle. You'll see what I mean here when I get to adding this to an invoice, and I'm going to do that now. So first I'm going to save this bundle that I've created. So it's telling me that something is not right, that there's another product named this. So I'm anticipating that that is because I have the frame tent 20 by 30 down here in the service item. So they're not going to allow me to name it the exact same thing in the bundle. So we can just basically put in here complete tent to differentiate it from the actual 20 by 30 frame tent service item that we have down here. So let's go ahead and try that. There we go. It looks like it let us through now. We're going to go ahead and add that to an invoice. So we're going to hit invoicing and we're going to click new invoice. And we're going to test out this new 20 by 30 frame tent that we have just created. And we want to make sure that we select the complete tent. When we do, it's going to populate all of the various components of this tent and their respective quantities right below that line item. And you can see that each of these line items have $0 in the rate column, except for this very last item that has the frame tent 20 by 30. And you can put the quantity there if you want. Then the $330 is my charge. So that's basically, this bundle is going to add up all of the rates for this bundle, all of the items and their rates. So since all of them are 0 except for this one, the total for the bundle is $330. And then you can make that taxable or non-taxable. If I change the quantity of the actual bundle itself, so let's say I want to rent 4 of these 20 by 30 frame tents, as soon as I do, it's going to update the total number of each component to reflect how many I need of each of those to create the 4 tents. So really quick and easy, saves a lot of time and resources from your front office and a lot of headache of having to go through and enter all of those and their respective quantities, and then they don't even have to remember it, and it's right every single time, and you're good to go. The rate updates as well, so you have the cost for the 4 total here, and then you can go through and continue adding whatever else you need to this invoice to finalize it. So that's it, guys. That's all for creating bundle items for your frame tents. You can do this exact same thing if you're creating bundles for, say, dance floors, staging, or any other item that requires multiple components to make up whatever you're renting. So I hope this was helpful. Leave your comments and questions in the section below. Please like and subscribe to our videos if you haven't already. We appreciate all of your support, and we'll see you next time. Happy rentals.